Hey man, how you going? I'm
I'm
Matt. Nice
good.
to meet you.
Matt, I'm Joey. How's it going?
Good.
Very nice to meet you. Thanks so much for taking the time out to have a chat. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries.
How's things? How's things on the other side of the world?
Um, Going. It's going. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're good. We're yeah. I'm just like super focused on going on tour. We're going on tour in 6 weeks, so there's always a million things to do. Sorry, I've just been like I've been so busy. My place is a mess. Anyway, yeah, it's good. All good.
Yeah. So you're off to the States, right? First part of the tour?
Yep, yep. Yeah, we
Yeah.
fly on July in July. Yeah.
Nice, nice. And you're in Sydney, aren't you? Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Nice. I actually had the privilege of seeing you guys in Sydney last year
Yeah.
at the Crowbar.
At Crowbar, yeah, cool.
Yeah, yeah. Like it was just so my brother-in-law lives in Perth, so I flew from Perth to Sydney to meet my mate who is in a band as well. And
Yeah,
it just so happened that you guys were playing on the same day I was there, and I was like, we absolutely have to go. So
perfect.
it was incredible. It was so good. Um,
Yeah,
and I think that was
that was
actually
a good one.
I think that was the first time as well. Al, your drummer was
Yeah, the new guy. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. And I love the bit where you said introduced him by playing Challenger Part One and just letting him sit behind the kit for like 7 minutes doing nothing.
yeah, yeah, that's right.
Did he find the funny side of that?
Yeah, yeah, he's got a good sense of humor. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And you also played a couple of new songs as well, didn't you, that night?
yeah, we played two new ones, which ended up being 45 minutes or something stupid like that. But yeah, 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 both of those made it on the record. Yeah, it was just fun just to get out and play some stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And it was a great show, a great turnout as well, like home show, you know.
Yeah, just and it was good because we kind of just didn't have a story behind it. It was just like, here's the new drummer, here's some new songs. We're just playing a show, um, and it turned out really well. That was actually a really good. That was actually one of the best Sydney shows we've ever played, I think, in
Really?
terms of our like vibe on stage, performance wise. Yeah. So that's good.
Yeah, no, it was absolutely a privilege getting to see you there. And also we're going to get to see you in August at Arctangent as well.
Yeah, awesome. Have you been before?
To Arctangent, yeah, about
Yeah.
I think it's my fourth or fifth year now.
Yeah. Okay.
Have you been?
Um, no, never. It's always been on the list.
Oh man, it's like honestly, you're gonna absolutely love it. Like it's one of those festivals where like, I can't remember what time the first band comes on, but like no matter what, it's just packed. People are there just for the music. Like everyone's just it's such a good vibe. Like I know it sounds
Yeah,
a bit
awesome.
cliche, but mate, you can have such a good time.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah.
And that it can be classic English summer and muddy and wet.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, you want to bring your wellies just in case. Like it could
Yeah,
be
okay.
one or the other. But you're doing two sets, aren't you? You're doing departure songs in full, and then is it just another random set list you're doing?
Yeah, well, yeah, Departure Songs in full, and then like the rest of the stuff, basically. So
Yeah.
it's nice to like mostly like sort of half new, bit of Triumph and Disaster, maybe a Departure Songs banger in there if you're lucky.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
So is it going to be difficult choosing the set? Well, obviously, it won't be difficult choosing departure song set list because that's pretty much. But like the other
Yeah,
one,
I don't know, set lists, they kind of come together relatively easy. We like, I think there's constants that always go in, and then we sort of build around that and then swap and change one or two. But it's kind of, we know it's going to work. But yeah, we've kind of nailed down the set because we've had to rehearse, and we don't get to get together all that often. Like we do when it's building up to a tour, but it's not like, I don't know, other bands probably like rehearse 3 to 4 times a week before going on tour. And we just don't have that capacity. So it's coming together. It's coming together well. It's really good. So like, yeah, when they just end up playing the full sets like on repeat at rehearsal, and then go, that feels good, or we change this or whatever. But it is tough sometimes because we've got stupidly long songs. So trying to fit. I mean, we're playing Post Fest in the US in Indianapolis, and they've generously given us. We're doing departure songs on one night and mixed set on the other night, same as Arctangent. But they've generously given us 90 minutes to do our festival set. So it's just like, okay, so we're going to like play heaps of stuff, which is good. But I think at Arctangent we'll have much less than that. So it'll be like maybe three songs in 40 minutes or something like that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to really pick out some bangers for that, huh?
Yeah. Some 15-minute bangers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just three of them. That's it. No more. Yeah.
And you've obviously got the new album out as well, in July, Single Flower,
Yeah.
which I've heard, and may I just say it is glorious
Oh,
as
good.
as as uh, as I fully expected
Thank you.
from a
Yeah.
We Lost the Sea album. And like that's been like what 5 or 6 years since Triumph and
Yeah.
Disaster, right?
5 years. Yeah. No, 6 years. 2019, October 2019. So yeah.
Oh yeah, it's 25, isn't it? Yeah, so 6 years.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and like I know, obviously, from what outside looking in, I'd say you're a band who are probably perfectionists to an extent. Like you want to get everything right, but I say at the same time, like you're saying, does life get in the way of like We Lost Sea? Like you were saying, you only get to rehearse like every so often. Like as a band to get together and record an album, is it not a pain but a challenge, I suppose?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and we've got family to worry about, and it eats into family time. So it's becoming a bit more challenging because the band's growing, which is good,
Yeah.
but we're not full-time musicians, which is also good because I don't want to do that because I'm too old. And like we've got families and everyone's got full-time jobs. They range from, in style and location and stuff like that. So it's like everybody's got different schedules, everyone's got different priorities, but we've all got, partners, families, jobs that we have to hold down. So we did the recording session over several weekends or several blocks. In the past, we've usually just gone in for 6 or 7 or 8 like exhausting days and just get it all down. But this time was more measured, and it's less strain on your annual leave, your family's, credits. I'm always withdrawing credits from the bank of family, sure. Yeah, so yeah, and then rehearsals on a weeknight, and it's like people got to get up super early for work. You got kids, daycare, all this kind of stuff. So yeah, it's like it's post dad rock, basically. Yeah, so it is a challenge, but this time, like to finish that, like the point is that I think we've figured out that if we do it incrementally, and it's much better. Yeah.
Yeah, because I I seem to remember you or you or the band, sorry, saying that after those shows in Sydney, the I think you did Sydney and then Adelaide or something like that, maybe.
No, we wouldn't have done Adelaide. Never play Adelaide. Sorry,
Sorry,
Adelaide. Adelaide
sorry.
sucks.
No,
Sorry,
sorry,
Adelaide.
it might have been Brisbane or something, Melbourne, something like that. But
No, we just did Sydney and Melbourne, just a quick couple of like just to dust the cobwebs off, basically. It was
yeah,
heaps of fun. And to kind of like blood the new guy. And yeah, so yeah, and then not long after that we went to China. So and like in between we were like recording and stuff like that. So it's been, even though we haven't been out on the road or been doing anything like major like that, it's just, well, major as in like shows wise, it's still been busy. It's because it's like, yeah, everything. You're like, oh, I've got a spare couple of hours here. Like, oh, I've got to stupidly rebuild my pedal board, or I've got to like go and do something band related that like eats into all my other time, like relaxation and chill and couch and stuff like that. So yeah, it's always constantly happening. There's always something going on. Yeah.
yeah. But was the out like because I think after those shows, sorry, Sydney and Melbourne, you were going into the studio then, and like I'm assuming most of the songs were written by then? Like you just went into the studio, smashed it all out? Because it seemed like a very short time from going into the studio for to the album being released this July.
Uh, Maybe. I mean, that's an interesting perspective. If you think that's a short amount of time, for us it just feels like forever. Like we've got
Well,
riffs on this record dating back to 2019, so it's kind of like, and then we
right.
had COVID lockdown. We managed to go. The process of this record actually started in 2020 in between lockdowns here in Australia, where we went to studio to do two really big writing weekends, and we just like vomited all of this like ideas and good stuff, rubbish, everything in between, and we just put it all together. And we started working with our long-term collaborator, engineer friend Tim Carr. He was with us the whole way, so he started there with the jam sessions and the writing sessions. Then we got locked down again, and then we came out of that, and then we sort of I think we did a couple of we had to switch drummers. We got new guy up to speed, played a couple of shows. It's sort of like the timeline just sort of blows out from there. But yeah, so it's been a long process. But the actual writing, to answer your question, no, this time like there was two or three songs that needed proper work in the
Right.
studio. So I think we did like five studio sessions, and the first two were jamming, writing, rearranging, final touches, and then we went in and did some tracking, and then we came back and we rewrote one of the songs a little bit and retracked some of that stuff, and then yeah, it all sort of happened piecemeal and in layers like that. So it's literally been 5 years in the making. Like it's been on and on and on for us. But
Right. Okay.
yeah, but to get it out in July is actually it is an achievement considering it's just we just had to get it done. It was just the motivation was there to push through. And at the end of the recording process, I do all the artwork. I choose to do all the artwork.
Yeah.
I choose to like punish myself by working after hours, another like 150 hours on the artwork or whatever over the course of 3 or 4 months. So I can't actually start that thinking process properly or doing process properly until all the music stuff's out of the way. I can't split my brain. It has to be like all, I got 20 minutes here, go and practice that riff, rewrite this, like make some demos, take them into the studio the next week, work on it. And until that all that process is over and out of my head, I can't then switch gears. So then it's another few months process getting all that stuff done, blah 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 blah. It's just the list is never ending.
It's
So right up until it's actually the longest we've had as a production schedule timeline. So it's pretty good.
right. Okay. It's just because I remember seeing it. It was like, oh, we're going into the studio after these things to record the new album. So I was like, geez, that's very quick. Like a year to get an album done, mixed, mastered, and out. So that's
Yeah,
obviously
yeah. When you put it like that, that is pretty impressive. But we had a sort of a slingshot, like all of this stuff's built up, and we just went rah. And Al's been great. He's like, it's a much smoother and easier process to write quicker with Al.
really.
So that's it's been a real eye openers for us, really, like in terms of our processing speed of stuff. It's like, try this, cool. No, it doesn't work. Try that. That's good. Cool. Like, do this 3 times. Great. Got it. Move on. But then it's also a 27-minute song takes 27 months to write. It's just like, it's the Sisyphean boulder that you're pushing up a hill that's just like, maybe this bit isn't right. You're like, oh, that's like
It,
16 minutes. And I have to rewrite that 16-minute part. You're like, but it turns into an opus. We're really proud of all of that work that went into it. And I think the extra care and, as you said, perfectionism, yeah, it definitely is like that when we hit the studio. But I think this record, we can hear that extra care has been taken. So it's all worth it for sure. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. And like I know, obviously, it's your latest or newest album. Sorry, so there's always going to be a spotlight on it. But like when you put it against, excuse me, the rest of your discography, like, do you rank it that high? Like, do you think it's stands out above the rest, personally?
Like I always wonder when like big bands get asked this and they're career bands and they've had a million albums or whatever, and they're like, I think this album is like our best album ever. And it's like, Is it though?
Yeah,
Like, it's not Master of Puppets, but it's okay. But but like I think for all intents and purposes for us, it is probably the best album that we've written. Yeah, for sure. I think it's mature. I think it's well rounded. I think it's has direction, has purpose. It has an intentional feel about it that came out of a lot of trial and error and push and pull between everybody, and that's kind of where a lot of these moments spring from. So yeah, I think it's probably our most accomplished record. Yeah,
I think like when and from where I'm standing anyway, listening to it, it sort of has all of your finest moments from all the albums and sort of like brought together. If
yeah,
that
sure.
if that
Yeah,
makes
that
sense.
makes sense. Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like a real I don't know how to describe it, but like a sort of like I don't want to sound cheesy, but it's like this is We Lost the Sea. Like this is do you know what I mean?
yeah, 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 yeah,
Like obviously like um to Triumph and Disaster obviously is very a great album and all the ones
yeah.
before, but I think when you listen to all of this in one sitting, you can really feel like the love in it without sounding.
No, no, that's a great, fair observation. We totally, like, I can speak for everybody. We totally agree with that statement for sure. I think it's, it's, I think we've been living under the shadow. I mean, it sounds so like wanky, pretentious. Like, we're not, like, it's so weird. Like, just to tangent and preface this, like, we go out on the road and people like throw so much adoration on us and stuff. We don't know that until we go out there, and it's like we're just, a bunch of shitheads from Western Sydney making like really long, indulgent music. But it's obviously resonated with people. But like that's like we've been living under the shadow of departure songs for 10 years. And I think that we really wanted to, and I think like Triumph was a good stepping stone and it was a good learning curve. And we were like younger, frustrated, like going through personal shit, angry. We went into the studio, it was alcohol fueled. We just smashed out this record. And it was only to kind of like be spiteful to our own image, if that makes sense, to not do a Departure Songs Part Two. Not that
Yeah,
we could have, but like like all of the mellow nuance and stuff of Departure Songs is you can't recreate that. But we intentionally tried to not go anywhere near even trying. So it was sort of the opposite, like with an engineer that just is from the Steve Albini, like Greg Norman, who's worked with Steve Albini, RIP, for like his whole life. He comes from the electrical audio, Chicago, microphone in front of the amps. This is what you sound like. If you sound like balls, it's because you sound like that. So it was an eye opener for us. I think the album is visceral and fun and big and like just like a good just foot on the foldback riff album, like it's really good. But this album, I think, goes back to your point where it's got the other elements that we've intentionally brought back in and we've, I wouldn't say mellowed, but I'd say like calmed down to the point where I think it's maturity, I think it is. And it's just, I think that all of the elements that are just there. I think we've been doing it long enough that I think all we know how to do is We Lost the Sea now. So the things that are going to come out are going to sound like that. And we listen back and go, that sounds like a We Lost the Sea bit. But there's also bits in this new record that we've sort of tried to push a little bit. I don't know how hard, I don't know how much you can push in this genre, but like that hasn't already been pushed before. But I think there's a couple of tracks, track three, which we're going to drop a video of that very soon,
cool.
is a bit different for us, electronics and a little bit noisy, industrially stuff going on. So that was fun. Yeah.
I mean, like, and I apologize if I seem like I'm stepping out of line here, but obviously, Departure Songs was it was at a point in time where circumstances were tragic, and
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I've lost friends to
Yeah.
that as well, and
Yeah.
it's, I just think like, sorry, I'm emotional. I just the worst part of it is just them thinking they have no other way, that this is the there's no help, and that's what hurts the most. Like,
Yeah. Yeah,
um,
yeah, yeah.
and obviously then for you guys to collectively make a decision to carry on with the band and put out an album and turn into an instrumental band as well, if
Yeah.
that's what you want to call it. But obviously, recording Departure songs would have been a very difficult time in your life, and you know, so I think you could probably, and again, correct me if I'm wrong or if I'm out of line, but I think like when you think of Departure songs to Triumph to now a Single Flower, is it sort of like you never will heal, but you've sort of traveled along? Am I making sense? Like you're sort of coming out
Yeah.
the other side, sort of thing. If that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that's a good interpretation for sure. Yeah, I think like I mean, I've spoken about it at length, really, but like it's become sort of second nature when we talk about this sort of stuff to click into rehearsed story mode. But yeah, I guess I haven't really thought about it. We don't. I mean, I'll speak for myself, but pretty sure that we don't think about it as much as we did.
Hmm.
And I don't think I think we intentionally have wanted to move past that for a long time, and we have. And I mean, we wouldn't be. The cruel irony is that we wouldn't. Nobody would know who we were if Chris was still here. Do you know what I mean? We'd still be the post metal band that screams and
Yeah.
plays, cult of lunar worship music. So like, I love Quietest Place on Earth. It's like it's one of my favorite Wheelers to See records, and I put it on sometimes, and it's like it hits me right there. But it's
Yeah.
like we're such a different band now, and we wouldn't be without that. So it's funny actually, and I like we had a Q&A at Dunk Festival last in 2023 when we played there last, and someone asked, they said, what would you attribute your success to? And I think it was a bit of a loaded question. And I went the cowardly safe route, and I went, well, we weren't really hard. We got really lucky, and blah blah blah. And afterwards, and I was sitting around talking to the guys, and everyone was just like, "You should have said that it's because our singer killed himself." Sorry
Oh,
to sound like insensitive, but it would have just been shock to the room, like, "Oh fuck, he's actually like that's the matter of it, right?" And I think we've had to have that sort of view on things slash semi sense of humor about it because it's like the music it's a coping mechanism for one, but the music has brought in all of these amazing fans and
mm,
vibes, stories, emails over the last 10 years that when we go out, especially when we first went on the road in 2017 to Europe, oh my God, it was half therapy session at the merch desk as much as it was like
yeah.
anything else. Because people just wanted to cry and hug and share stories and stuff. And it was actually a really fucking beautiful thing and something that not many people get to experience, let alone small bands from, a small town in suburbs of Sydney that goes to I don't know, we're in Zagreb, like we're in Croatia, and someone's telling a story about his professor who had died and was a fan, so he was there because on his behalf. Like new dozens of stories similar to that, right? And I said to the guys, I remember saying to the guys, I said, we'll tour again, but none of the tours will be like this. Like this is really special and raw because it
Yeah.
was really, really close. But then on the other side, when we got to the end of the touring cycle for Departure Songs, it was so draining to play that every night for like 5 years.
Yeah.
And we just were desperate for new music. And by that stage, by playing it on repeat for 5 years, I think we just inadvertently just expelled all of the grief that we needed and all of the shit. And we were just frustrated with ourselves and frustrated with not frustrated, it was like I just think just drained.
Yeah.
And then so the impetus for Triumph and Disaster then became like, well, fuck this, let's just write riffs. So we started every set for like 6 or 7 years with like bling, 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 and everyone's like, "Oh my God, this is my favorite song." And I don't know. It's like I'm not trying to like I'm not trying to be disingenuously or like ungracious about it. It's just like it's part of the sense of humor that we need to get past that. So then Triumph came along and we're like, let's
Yeah.
just write riffs. And that was also the shaking it off. Like we've come out of that like shroud and we're all hooded and departure songs are so sad. And then it was, and we got over it, and then we sort of moved on. So yeah, and now I think this is something that Triumph was still attached to departure songs because we put so much pressure on ourselves to follow up this record that over 5 years became like a cult hit and like meant so much to a lot of people that
Yeah.
we would literally people were emailing us like, "Oh, I didn't jump off a bridge tonight because I listened to your music." Like literally we've had
What?
those emails and shit. Yeah, like messages like I was standing on
Wow.
a bridge like contemplating life and then I got in my car and drove home. Like thank you kind
Jeez.
of thing.
Like
Yeah.
that.
I'm at
That's
the pub, it's a Wednesday night. I'm like, the fuck? I gotta answer this one. Oh, what the fuck? Oh shit. Oh no. All right. Hey man. Like, hey
God.
man, just let us know if you're okay. Like,
Wow.
so after all of that, I think then Triumph was still that because Triumph was like, and we hadn't toured heaps overseas, and it was like we toured Triumph, and people were like, "We just want to hear Gallant Gentleman, we just want to hear Double Hutcher songs." Like, yeah, cool, we love Towers and we love The Last Sun and stuff, and that's all cool, but can you just play Gallant Gentleman? And it's always going to be like that. And I'm so glad that we actually have one hit song that people like. Someone brought a banner to one of the shows and like held up a Gallant Gentleman, and we're like, "Whoa, we've got fans." So I love that.
But
I think
also,
this
sorry,
is just like the next level away from all of that, which is in fresh blood in the band. So yeah, it feels good.
like a Gallant Gentleman was on Afterlife as well. The
Yeah,
like, do
yeah,
you know what? I can't remember where I saw it. Was it in the press release I got? It might have been the press release for the
probably.
album.
Yeah,
And I was like,
yeah,
as soon as I read it, I went, "Oh my God, how did I not realize that was?" Do you know? Because like when you're watching like a TV program like that, the last thing you're expecting is "We Lost the Sea" song to be on there. Like, do you know what I mean?
Well, then yeah, same, but like they chopped it up. I think it's kind of like they put it on a bit of
Yeah.
a loop. But yeah, Gervais has always been a Ricky Gervais has always been a fan. Like he's tweeted at us prior to that happening and stuff years ago. Um, he lowballed us though, in stingy Gervais. But anyway,
Oh, please
I
elaborate.
just want to be a little bit of controversial. If he ever hears this, like thanks, mate. But I was a few more coins. Just put us on one of your comedy shows. We'll open for you.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but yeah, that was wild. It was because we were huge Ricky Gervais fans.
yeah.
And yeah, that was bizarre. But he's a huge fan of post rock apparently. So
Really? I didn't know that.
yeah, yeah.
There you go. And so obviously you're doing Departure Songs in full again at Arctangent. Do you you were saying obviously you played it up at, are you looking forward to playing it in full or is it a bit like are you again I don't want to sound dismissive, but do you get fed up with it?
No, yeah. I mean, yeah. Every band that plays the same songs 100 times will get fed up
Yeah,
eventually. I think, but there's something about that record that no matter how many times I listen to it, or if I very rarely put it on at home, but like I'll chuck the vinyl on once in a blue moon. Like the end of Challenger, like has some kind of trigger PTSD thing. It just makes me cry every time. Like even like after the thousandth time, I'll hear it and the trumpets kick in, and I'm like, fuck yeah. Like, yeah, there's something, but there's something like this is the line I always say, and it's so true. It says there's something in that the DNA of that record that makes it what it is, and you can't replicate that. Like people are like, oh, well, hope you're doing departure songs too. We just want more of the same shit. And it's just
yeah,
like I get that, and I appreciate that you love that record so much that you want more of it. But it's a lightning in the bottle, and it's not. There's no part two. It's not something that you can redo. But yeah, look, I think some of the dudes in the band are more like nostalgic than others, or more keen to play new stuff than others. But at the
yeah,
end of the day, when we all play it and it sounds good and we click, it gives it, you get the chills at some point playing that set. You can't help it, and it's got that thing and because and the audience loves it, and it's so I don't know, sort of transcends
Yeah,
from us to them and back again. You really feel that connection. Like when you're playing the other stuff, it's kind of like we're a rock band, foot up on the fold back, playing riffs and stuff. But Departure Song's just like there's something about it. Yeah. So like I'm happy to be playing it at such a fucking awesome festival for the 10-year anniversary. It's actually really, really special. We're not just playing it for no reason.
yeah.
So like it's one, it's Arctangent, and two, it's the 10-year. That's why we're doing it. So it's going to be extra special, and we've been making sure that we've like rehearsing it a lot because we haven't played a lot of it in a while. So and it's coming together really good. It feels really good. Yeah.
And you're playing on the Thursday, right? Thursday and Friday?
Thursday and Friday. Yeah.
I think,
Yeah.
yeah. And you had am I right in saying you had a guest on the new album from a certain band playing on the Thursday?
Oh.
Am I right in saying that, Matt? You had
Yeah. Yeah.
Sophie, I don't know how to pronounce it, Trohu,
Trudeau.
from
Godspeed.
Godspeed
Yeah.
You, Black Emperor, who
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
happened to be playing on the same day as you on the Thursday.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Come
Um,
on.
you'll have to if you see us at Arctangent, you'll have to talk to Mark about that one. He pulled that off somehow. But yeah, got Mark reached out. We reached out. She said yes. Sent the piano bit off to her. Came back, mixed and recorded and multi-tracked and everything and full pro, obviously. Yeah, I don't think we're such fanboys, and it would like I think by the time Godspeed are playing on the Thursday night, we would have had a few tins. So I don't think we should go anywhere near the green room while they're in it because it might end in embarrassment. But I think we're way too like I don't know, way too fanboys to like walk up to them like, hey man, do you want to guest on our track? It's like fuck. Well, while we play live, like, so it's like we were talking about like, no, no, please don't anyone float that idea. Don't go near them. You're not allowed in the vicinity. You're not allowed in the vicinity. No, look,
Surely, surely, like, I mean, because they only announced like a couple of weeks ago, maybe even a week
yeah.
ago, actually, as
Uh,
headliners. So, I mean, talk about stars aligning. It's gonna happen, surely. Like,
I mean, we
someone
have,
is gonna say it.
yeah. Who knows? Let's leave that up to a surprise. We'll see. We'll see what happens on the day. Yeah.
You've such a bad poker face.
Man, like, honestly, I'm not broaching that subject. I'm not like going to be unless we like, do it through the tour manager or something. Like, can you go and talk to him? Can you go and talk to Godspeed and ask if they want to play? It'll be
I tell you what, you buy me a pint there, I'll do it. How's
no. It makes me anxious. Like, be
um,
cool. You just gotta be cool, man. Just be cool.
and obviously, like, so Australia is a country, obviously. That's not where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
But for a country on the other side of the world, you have sparse tours, as in terms of bands coming over. Like we're quite fortunate here in Europe where we have a lot of touring bands.
Yeah.
You may have was it is it a Big Day Out? Was the festival there? Is that it? Big Day Out?
Oh,
No.
R.I.P. Yeah,
It was it? Yeah.
the best. Yes. Yeah. That
And
that finished in mid 2000s. Yeah.
yeah, and now I think you have
Mid
Knotfest, do you? Knotfest comes over occasionally.
Yeah. 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 We had that recently. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you have like occasional bands like may come over when they fancy it.
Like
Um,
I think the touring schedule's pretty full for Australia. It's always been a good spot for a fan base for a lot of bands. Obviously, the UK and Europe just I think it's more the variety of bands is probably greater over there
yeah,
because the financial risk is lower to just go jump across continent UK whatever. But yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, it is obviously frightfully expensive to come to Australia, and but the ticket prices have gone up here. So it's like when international acts started coming back, we all of a sudden, you can't get a ticket for less than 180 bucks or whatever. So it's just like, like Metallica's coming over. I paid 270 bucks for a Metallica ticket.
So I paid 220 euros for one, so we're on the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so my point, so there obviously are bands coming across, but we
Yeah.
we we probably get more variety, like
Yeah.
there, like but for you guys, like playing Arctangent, and you've seen the bill, obviously. Is there anyone like you're really looking forward to seeing, perhaps that you haven't seen before or haven't seen in a
Oh,
while?
man.
Don't get
Let me pull up the flyer and I'll tell you exactly. Oh, yes, heaps. Like the thing is, like on that point, we don't get where is it? We don't get there would never be a festival like Arctangent in Australia.
yeah,
We just
yeah.
don't have the per capita of fan base to support that. And if we do, it like the type of stuff that we do have that's even remotely close to that, it'd either be just like a straight up metal festival, or then something like Dark Mofo, which is down in Tasmania, which is an arts music
Yes.
festival that a lot of big bands and then like visual artists, and like it goes crazy. Like it's weird. But then you might have like Queens of the Stone Age or like Swans or something like that as like one of the headline rock bands, and then everything else underneath that is obscure and esoteric and stuff. So, which is cool. It's awesome. It loses a lot of money because it's incredibly expensive to put on. It's hard to get people down to Tasmania and stuff. But
Mm.
like in terms of Arctangent and stuff like that, so yeah, we would never ever have anything like that over here, unfortunately. But yeah, like on the day that we're playing, I want to see. Oh well, there's yeah, obviously Godspeed. But Coil Guns, we know the guys in Coil Guns. I'm a huge Future of the Left fan. Between the Buried in Me,
Yeah.
Envy, like Car Bomb are playing, like Rollo, just McCluskey. Like yeah, like over the 3 or 4 days that we're going to be there, it's going to be pretty full on. It's going to be good. Yeah.
And Carl is also playing with his other band there, right? Low.
Yeah, they just got added. They had interest from Arctangent for a while, but they just couldn't capitalize on making a tour. But so they're gonna Carl's gonna play with us, and then so he's gonna play 3 shows at Arctangent. I didn't even think about that. It's a classic, yeah.
Because
Um,
so Griff, their drummer,
yeah.
he was actually at the We Lost the Sea show in
Oh,
Sydney.
cool.
That was the first time
Yeah,
I
yeah,
met him, and
yeah.
um, he is the drummer in Burial Pit as well, which is another Australian band.
Yep, yep.
Um, and my mate who's in Sydney, he's from a band called Awe. I don't know if you've heard of them.
Oh, mate, I'm old and have a 3-year-old. I don't really go
Yeah,
to
yeah, no,
places.
it's fine, but it's just it's
But
so
I reckon the Burial Pit guys would probably know that. Like they're all our good mates. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
They're all
probably more in that world.
it's all
Yeah.
interlinked. Like
Especially we've all played in each other's bands. I mean, I only play in one now, but because I don't have time for even that one.
yeah,
But
yeah,
Griff plays in like 400 bands.
yeah, yeah. He
Uh,
does.
yeah, so yeah, it's quite a small, tight knit scene over here for a bunch of old dudes. So it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's nice. But who Sam as well from Low, the lead singer. I've chatted to him
Yeah,
before.
right. Yeah, yeah.
I just love like I actually got sent a promo for Awe, and then I just found all these other bands in Australia, and I've been
Yeah,
plugging,
awesome.
trying to plug it all, because
That's great. Yeah,
it's
you've done your
such a,
research.
it's yeah, yeah, and like it's such a untapped place, Australia. Like I mean, there's obviously you've got like Parkway Drive and AC/DC, if you consider them Australian or Scottish. We'll leave that for another day. But then like King Parrot as well, who have just started like really like going to support Pantera and stuff like that. And then just
Yeah.
trying, there's so many bands out there that I've just been trying to tap in and try and find little things here and there. And there's so much good stuff in Australia. Like there's a band called Norse who are like this I don't know how to describe it, like black metal, but just
Yeah, okay.
all this obscure stuff. And obviously, a man from, oh, what are they called? The guy who lives in Tasmania. Oh,
Psychroptic.
no,
No,
sorry, that's another good band. Sorry, the one man black Stryborg.
no, I
Stryborg?
don't know.
Do you
No,
not know that? Oh,
no.
it's but anyway, sorry, I don't know what I was
No,
going.
that's all right. You're schooling me. I'm like, I'm old. I don't know bands, especially yeah. But the black metal thing isn't really my thing. So, but
Right,
once
okay.
again, those burial pit dudes would be all over this. They'd be like, yeah, I know that another dude, and yeah, he does that. He plays drums in that band, and like,
But no, I mean, it's and I'm sure I was born in the wrong country because just Australia is just such an amazing place. Um, but anyway, sorry, I'm
yeah,
just going
maybe
on.
you'll have to move over, mate.
Well, the talk was about potentially moving over, but actually saw Black Dahlia murder in Perth when I was over
Yeah,
post
right.
post Trevor, which is a shame.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, it's just, it's actually like on that point, like Australian bands, it's always been really impressive that it's like the Swedish. It's like there's I don't know, there's like 8 million Swedish people, but there's 100, there's 1,000 very good Swedish bands. Do you know what I mean? And everybody knows who they are. And I feel like Australia has that kind of impact in certain areas, and it's like when a band gets overseas and it's touring and everybody knows they're always really good. Like even if it's not your kind of thing, the King Gizzard, Lizard Wizard's another one. They're just
yes.
they produce like 5 albums a year or whatever, something mental. And then there's like the metalcore is huge. Polaris, um,
North Lane, are they Australian?
North Lane, Alpha Wolf. Listen to me with my metalcore. Fucking
Yeah,
hell.
yeah.
I have a soft spot for it, so it comes up in my algorithm in YouTube, and I'm just like, yeah, I'll watch the latest fucking North Lane video. Oh, that's a cool. Yeah. So, but like that, I just it is a really like maybe I wouldn't say untapped resource, but I feel like the reason why Australian bands are always overseas is because the appreciation for all of those genres I just mentioned is so much greater over there. UK, Europe, especially. We'll find out what the reception's like in America, but probably same over there. But it's over here. It's such a, it's like it's when people talk about. This might be get a bit ranty, so I'll keep it short. But it's like when the Australian media talk about the music over here, they always just say the same 10 mainstream bands that have been around forever. And it's just like, you'll go to an Australian metal show and there's like 5 metal bands playing and it's packed and it's sold out and there's thousands of people there. Or like even the punters that go to Knotfest and stuff, the audience is here, it sells out. Everybody wants to go and see, fair enough, it's sort of like nostalgia bands and stuff, but there's always like a new modern metalcore band on those lineups or whatever. But like since Parkway sort of busted open, they're like, hey, we're from Australia and we don't look anything like a metal band should, and we surf and we're good looking and have blonde hair and do backflips and shit. Like it's kind of it's like wow, Australia like means business, and we do, but it's just it's Parkway based halfway between I don't know like Byron Bay and Germany or something like that. It's like they don't. It's not a thing that they come here and they do the opera house and they'll wear suits and stuff and sell it out and it'll be really fancy. Or they did their tour here and it's like fire and shit. But like that stuff doesn't happen all the time, and it's like it's such a shame that we don't back that kind of talent. It's like okay, yeah, cool. Everybody knows King Gizzard, great band. They release a bunch of records. They're the darlings on the radio. Like, but then I feel like there's a very clear divide. But we all make our own kind of career and fan base by going outside of the country. So it's a bit of a shame, really.
Oh, it is, and that's what I was saying. Like, there's so, I think I don't want to again go on a rant, but I think like people, like you're saying, like the mainstream media are pushing stuff like, oh, Sleep Token, who I, by the way, I think are crap, but that's a different point. But like Sleep Maiden, Metallica, all those things, they're pushing. Oh, listen to this new single where like in fact, like what we do for, I say a living, but for this podcast is we don't get paid for it. We just get sent a load of promos and we get to find some absolute gems from now, you
Yeah.
know, like every now and again. And if we can just get like a few people listening to a band from Australia, Norway,
Yeah.
wherever, and
Yeah.
someone
Yeah.
buying a t-shirt, that is what makes us happy. Like, Maiden doesn't need support or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
It's
No,
the other bands who
absolutely not.
no,
Yeah.
exactly. Like,
No, I
uh,
appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, the scene's always held together by people who love it. It's as simple as that. It, you know, all those people who turn up to those shows in Australia, that they absolutely fucking love it. Like it's the same as I'm assuming what Arctangent's like. It's like that genre attracts people that like live and breathe it. It's not just a casual flash in the pan. So that's meaningful. You know, when we turn up to Slovenia and we play a room with 83 people in it, they're all just absolutely captivated and they fucking love every minute of us being there. So that's endearing and it's justifying and it's just a beautiful thing. You know, like obviously we'd love there to be 800 people in the room, but small wins. But yeah, I think people like yourself, everybody in the indie, like it's when we try to reach out, like, hey, we got a new record. All the indie scene media here and over there, a lot of them have gone bust, or no, there's not enough people doing it because there's no money in it. The ad revenue is really low. Like it's just kind of all the costs are rising, blah blah blah, boring. So yeah, it's refreshing when you just kind of reconnect and just I guess get out there, grassroots kind of thing, DIY till I die kind of thing.
yeah,
Even
like
though
I mean,
I'm 45 this year, DIY.
but like this is like I was saying, like I appreciate you coming along, and I really do because like we like I said, don't get paid for it. We're not a massive establishment, but just having the chance for you to give up your time to chat about you know the band, but other stuff as well is massively appreciated, and we don't take any of this for granted, and we get to. I mean, you're gonna absolutely love Arctangent, honestly, and like when we get to meet like bands at Arctangent who we've interviewed like this over Zoom and meeting face to face, and
Yeah,
it's just such a nice feeling to that have connection now that you know.
yeah, for sure,
I mean,
absolutely.
you're gonna love Arctangent, I guarantee it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I can't
And
wait. I can't wait.
and we've got this massive camper van. I say a camper van, it's like a what do they call it in America? The motorhome or something.
Like the RV.
RV. We got one of them bad
Yeah,
boys, so you'll
yeah,
have to come in and have a beer with us
yeah,
one of the
absolutely, for
days.
sure,
Yeah.
man. Yeah,
Um,
yeah. We literally fly for like 3 days. We're on the ground for 4 days. Like fly for a day and a half, on
oh,
the ground for 4 days, and then fly for a day and a half home.
oh no way.
Yeah, like because we're not doing any other. Well, we might be
Oh,
last minute being added to a show in Dublin that'll be quite exciting. So
in where?
stay tuned for that
Where? Sorry,
in Dublin.
Ireland,
Yeah.
where I live. No way.
Are you in Ireland right now? I thought you were calling
Yeah.
from. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we might be.
Go on.
Yeah, yeah.
Now I'm
We're like.
excited.
Oh, I thought you were in the UK for some reason,
I've
but no,
got
in
a, I've
Ireland.
got an English accent, but I've been living here 15 years. But anyway, where are you playing and when?
Well, we just. I don't know if this. I mean, I don't know when this podcast is going out, so I don't want to like shoot the
Probably,
fish. But
probably tomorrow.
well, we haven't confirmed. Anyway, we're like 99% confirmed, so I'm not going to say anything because if this goes out tomorrow, I don't want to say anything. But we probably might be coming to Dublin the day before Arctangent.
Matt, you and I are going to talk. Once I've stopped recording this, we're going to talk.
Okay. Okay. I don't want to fuck it up or get in trouble or whatever.
No,
Like,
no,
I
no,
don't
you're
know.
fine. I will not jeopardize
I
your.
mean, I'm sure it's fine, but like, I just do. Protocol's a thing, so we'll stick to that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
I'll
fine.
tell
That's
you when
absolutely.
yeah, off the record, I'll tell you.
Oh, amazing, amazing. Um, Listen, Matt. thanks so much for your time. I really appreciate it. As I said, just just to get in the chat and hang. Or especially as
Oh
you're
man, yeah, I appreciate your time too. Thanks so much. Yeah,
no,
like it's also, I was going to say, it's the first time that it's the first interview technically about the new album. So I like doing interviews. I like chatting to people, I like chatting to fans like yourself and people who are really passionate and interested in stuff. Like, people who get on and go, oh, what's your influences? And, I think that's fine. And, you got to start somewhere, but I much prefer these kind of chats. But yeah, so it's good because over the course of these kind of interviews, I appreciate the care to the questions that you're asking, because it actually makes me think and then like puts these things into place for the first time. So it's kind of like it's good to think about the new record and put it into context with the rest of the stuff what we're doing and makes it real. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
that's cool. So I think
No, no, thanks. I mean, we probably didn't even chat much about the new record. We just saw.
no, no, we kind of didn't really, but
So,
yeah.
Matt, tell me your influences.
Godspeed you, Black Emperor.
Yeah, yeah. Um, well, it will. I'm sure we're going to review the album on the show at some point anyway. But I mean, I've said to you, it's a great album. I've been listening
Yeah,
to it
thanks,
for
man.
a
Yeah.
long time. So, actually, I meant to ask you, are you bringing the vinyl box set over for merch? I see it's on your web store, all the albums.
Oh, the like a box. It's not actually a box set. It's just like just a package of all of our back catalogue that
Well, sorry.
Birds Road send. Yeah, I'd love to get it actually in a box. That's one of the many ideas that we have that we don't have money for. But we will have the new record plus all of our back catalogue over there. So
Sweet. I need to
yeah,
get
yeah, we're going to bring as much as we can because everybody needs to buy our merch so we can afford to like get there and get home and eat and survive and spend pounds because the Australian dollar is like 50 cents or something like that. So
wow.
like yeah. So for every well it's double. So for every pound it's $2 Australian. So yeah, that's like stuff, everything's twice as expensive over there. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be fun. So everyone buy merch, please. Yes, we'll
Yes,
be
yeah,
bringing
yeah. Merch,
records,
merch, merch.
shirts, we'll have art prints, we'll have the whole shop, whole shebang.
Well, you saved me a copy of I think I've got Triumph and Disaster on vinyl, so I need the rest of them.
Yep,
So you saved me a copy of
yep,
them.
they'll be there. Yeah,
Nice, nice. Um, listen, Matt, as I said, it's been a pleasure to talk to you, and I'll be seeing you at Arctangent and maybe
yep,
before.
yeah, maybe before. Maybe hopefully that works. I should like send a message to the thread like, are we confirming this show?
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, you've pretty much confirmed it now. Exclusive
yeah,
rights.
yeah. Well, yeah. Anyway,
I'm gonna stop recording and then we can chat about
yep.
that.